Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 6th episode of Full Dive RPG. And last episode, a lot happened, you could say. Like, for one thing, he got kind of like, the charges are dropped, like the guards aren't going to be after him anymore, which was a little bit of good news. But then, you know, random citizens, they don't really care about that, so they just do what they do. And we also decided we want to try to get some money, which is easier said than done. Like, he didn't like the job opportunity that was given to him, doesn't want to steal, so he, like, kind of scammed Ginji out of some money, right? And also we went to a shop that kind of scammed him, unfortunately. And we eventually made it back to our original home area, right? Where a certain somebody was laying in ambush, right? But we have a little bit of help because Misa's, what's her name again? Mizarisa? Right, she was also there too, and I think she's on our side. So yeah, this could be quite the exciting event that's happening right now. So yeah, let's jump on in and see exactly how all that goes. 3, 2, 1, play. Bum, 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 bum. Knife. And then through the window. Yeah, Mizarisa. Man, she is not letting that go. I mean, nobody's really letting that go, let's be honest. Our fairy friend didn't either. Sometimes that becomes this person's defining character trait in a show. Having a lightning blade, that does look pretty cool. Be very shocking to get hit by it. And are we back into it? Knife versus saw. Which will win? We're here to find out. I feel safer already. To protect you, of course. Yeah, have you not heard? You don't argue with Tesla, got it. Then we're gonna have a problem. This girl doesn't mess around. We almost lost limbs to her. I will see. Okay. Nakayoku was translated as interacting, okay. I would never dream of it. Maybe we should follow the urine trail. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good idea to me. What could go wrong? Yeah, there could be plenty of benefits to having her in our party, for sure. Very important one. Jeez. Yeah, so I've heard. This man is a hot shower. Okay, maybe we should not forget about the girl trying to kill us. We should probably focus on that. I think we established that. Although that's not actually what she said, but... Apparent accomplice. Yeah. This girl is off her rocker. Let's go, knife versus saw. Well, so far, so far, saw seems to be winning. That's a good point. She might be crazy, doesn't mean she has top tier combat abilities. But she's also not a pushover, as we've established. Is she on the roof? Okay. That's her. And we outnumber you. I wouldn't say that, but that's a good start. That giggle, that... Girl secret pocket and all that. Yeah, she might be good to have around. I think we established that. Oh. You're in love with him? I mean, nothing she says should surprise me that much, but... You know, I can respect a girl that knows what she wants. And fights to protect it. Worn out saw. Yeah, now the fight's really going under. Or starting. I mean, two knives is actually a lot more dangerous than one. Oof. Yeah, her eye. Okay, we disarmed her again. And she just pulls out 5 knives. Okay. Is that checkmate, or... I feel like it's probably not. We can't do that. Oof. Well, guess that counts as a weapon too. I guess so. Ooh. This is not fair. It's supposed to be knife versus saw. No one said anything about a foot. You might be in trouble now. So, what's plan C? If we could apologize real quick. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. You could try apologizing, you could try hugging her, or bribing her. I mean, I don't really have money, so I guess it's not an option, but... I'll give you my fairy friend if you don't kill me. Yeah, the one that like punched you in the eye before. This girl, she can learn. What are you thinking, Hiro? What's your idea? A love confession? A love confession? That's the only thing I can think of. Or, well, I guess that works too. Yeah, that'll show her. Yeah. I mean, happens in a lot of other shows. How old even are you? At least it distracted her from killing. That's I mean, that's the point, right? Jeez. Well, he's nowhere near as well trained, okay. Well, we survived a few extra seconds because of that. Hashtag worth it. So yeah, we need a new plan though, if you want to keep that living streak going. No, thank you. I feel like he's getting really ganged up on here. Well, do you have any other ideas? I mean, the boob grab didn't work. I don't know what else we got. What she would hate. Okay, my initial guess was right. It just took longer than expected. Gotta love how the confession comes after the boob grab. I mean, it's a very powerful force against a childhood friend. Yeah, you can't kill someone that loves you, right? I mean, we know that is a lie, but... You're getting a little bit mixed up here, man. But he's got the right spirit. That's a good question. A desperate attempt at survival is what I would call it. Yeah, back before you tried to stab me. Is it not gonna work? It's never too late. If you believe. It was an accident. Well, because it's the truth. I guess it is one way to look at it. It was just an NPC, though. Well, it was... Well, they survived. Know that feeling. Well, because it is. But it's not from their perspective, which is the thing. Right in front of her. And then just left. That is true. And how is she doing, by the way? We just did not check up on her at all. Oof, that outfit is never gets old. No. We'll compromise. You can cut up some hair. But he survived. She survived. Overall, I'd say it went pretty well. I never see it coming. That is a huge tree. Pretty cool tree. Pretty impressive. I kind of want one in my backyard. Is that you, Martin? Yeah, seriously. I'm sorry. It is hard to apologize for just killing someone. Was it? Yeah, it's somewhere in there. Just don't kill me. The power of a handhold, wow. Oh, is it a flashback? Yeah, how the tables turn. Why are you talking that way? Are you? It's because they're best friends. Please stop talking like that. It was just so short. Always. So I guess we got that figured out. Yeah, I think he's just passing on. But he's a ghost. Like, he can't just stick around. Time Martin's on. Well, that's one problem solved. So she didn't get much out of it. What's that sound effect? No, new title, maybe? You... What? Is that an improved title? Is that lovely? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. There's still Alicia. Yeah, I guess we could leave that for the future. Then just let her solve everything at once. Right, we still need to do that. Yeah, Martin, if he wasn't a ghost, would be smelling that the whole time throughout that lovely scene. Oh god, that's not good. Are we being attacked by the goblins? Or did Alicia go on a rampage? Or are a lot of people having barbecues? Yeah, what exactly is going on? Are we gonna end on this cliffhanger? Of course we are. Of course we are. Wait till next week to find out why the town just burning all around us. That felt like an eventful episode. And yes, the ED. That's the thing I always look forward to with this show. I'm kind of surprised she gets away with walking around town in that outfit. I guess when you're an Inquisitor, I mean, who's gonna complain? Yeah, this coming around with a knife. What we didn't know is that there's like several knives in this show. You see the knife in front of you, but you don't see the two that come from the sides. Never really meant comment on it before, but that ending shot is really interesting. How they're all just kind of like leaning against his like VR helmet, right? I don't think there's any meaning behind that, but will be something if there was. Anyway, that was the 6th episode of Full Dive RPG, and we were promised an epic battle between Knife and Saw, and I'd say we got it. It was pretty exciting, right? Have definitely had a lot of twists and turns to it. Like we got Hero trying to help, like grab the knife, throw out the window. I was like, yay, this problem's solved. We're all safe now. I saved the day. Thank me later. And then just whips out 2 more knives. That was great. That really was great, because of course she just has more knives. Why wouldn't she, right? You know, that's great. So yeah, we get to see her like dual wielding these knives against Mari, what is her name? Mizarisa, against her big old saw, right? And I mean, Mizarisa, she did pretty well. Like, she actually, there was a couple moments where I thought she was gonna win, but then just Alicia just bam, foot right into the stomach, and yeah, that looked quite painful. Right, so she did better in the fight than I expected, right? I mean, I guess with enough motivation, anything is possible. I mean, we already established that she was somewhat skillful when it came to fighting, right? Like, she had decent stats and whatnot. Because I think they said she was supposed to be like a party member or whatever in like an ideal scenario. But yeah, she's a very angry, crazy person, and yeah, she will fight with everything she's got. And once Mizarisa went down, Hiro was in a lot of trouble. That's where we had to get creative, and we kind of remembered our legendary players' oh so helpful advice, right? So he kind of had to think of something on his feet, because he was just gonna die there if he didn't. First strategy was the cup of feel, right? Because my guess would be a love confession, and Tennant was right. It was just that was the second strategy he attempted, not the first one, right? I don't know why that wasn't the first one, but you know, Hiro. I'll leave it to him. I'm sure he knows what he's doing, right? Although it didn't actually work. It was actually quite a funny scene, because I wasn't sure what would happen from it, right? That was the most interesting thing about it, because there were so many different directions that could go, like so many different reactions that Alicia could have to it. Because there was a stereotypical, you know, embarrassment, Kya, what are you doing? There's a lot of different kind of things that, right? And I like how she kind of joking around with that, right? Because when she did that, for a second I thought she was serious, because the anime would do that, right? There are plenty of anime that would, even in this scenario, in this context, would still, the girl would still have a reaction like that. But no, that was just a little bit of a fake. And that was pretty funny, because I believed her for a second. But that's when we broke out the second strategy, which actually did seem to work. It had a real effect. The one thing we got into with this episode, which is pretty interesting, is kind of just how disconnected Hiro is from the character that he's portraying, right? Because, I mean, that's kind of how it works in RPGs, when you really think about it, is usually you don't start off as a baby. You start off as a teenager, an adult, or whatever, that's obviously had a bunch of life experiences, and, you know, you kind of, usually you learn about some of them either immediately or later on through flashbacks and stuff like that. But for the most part, you just like jump into somebody's body and take over their life from there. You don't have the same sort of emotional connections that they have, right? So it's not something I really think about too much, really. But when you really think about it, yeah, that is a big thing. Especially when you're playing a game where the NPCs literally have feelings and stuff, right? That sort of disconnection can cause you issues if you're not like aware of it, if you don't account for that. Right? Because from his perspective, he just jumped into this game and everything went wrong. This activity was supposed to be some fun leisure time stuff, was just a complete failure, right? He came in here to have a good time, have some fun. People just dying and chasing him with knives, and he gets a little bit scared and runs away. But from Alicia's perspective, you know, she had her best friend that she's known for like ever just murder her brother right in front of her. They just leave, right? There was no sadness or anything like that about the fact that his best friend and her brother just died, and when he was responsible for it, he just left, right? And, you know, when you really think about it, you can't really blame someone for being a little bit upset about that sudden development, but that's the disconnect, though. Like, she has all this, she felt so much emotion in that scene, whereas the only emotion he felt was like, okay, this is pretty scary, I think I'm gonna leave now. So yeah, once he actually realized just the significance of that, he was able to actually kind of make better decisions, right? I think empathy is probably the right word for this, right? And once he was able to really get that, really acknowledge that these are, even though they're technically NPCs, for all intents and purposes, they are people with feelings and stuff, and you have to understand that to be able to interact well with them. And once he started to actually go down that road, he made better decisions and actually got things resolved. And Martin time is now over. Martin was able to move on. And I'm sure in the future he will work things out with Alicia as well, right? Because I think we started on that path in this episode to some reconciliation, and eventually, maybe in a couple more episodes, she'll be an official party member, which, like Mizarisa became in this episode. Because although she's a little bit of a weird one, right? She wants to torture him and make him wet himself and stuff like that. Aside from those little personality quirks, she would be a very valuable party member to have, for sure. So, yeah, I think she's a keeper. And the ED makes it pretty clear that they're both going to be like party members, but also Kaede, she hasn't gone into the game yet, but unless the ED is lying to me, she eventually will, right? Because she is a member of the group, pretty sure. And she hasn't done anything really in the show until now, aside from like a couple of comments towards Hiro here and there when he comes back. So, I think that's pretty much everything I got to say on the episode. I mean, the fact that her putting the glasses on was pretty funny, because she remembered the fairies like punching her in the eyes, because that was quite funny. So yeah. And she just did some pretty scary stuff throughout the episode, like the neck bending and stuff like that. She obviously has a bit of a zombie kind of aesthetic going on with her. Makes her very scary, especially when she does things with her neck that shouldn't be possible. So, yeah, the sooner we can reconcile with her, the better, for sure. So, pretty good episode. It's time to wait for the next one. Until then, bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.